Hi, Joel Martin with Canopy Home Loans and
Brad Eaton, Eaton Realty Group. So, the big question that everybody's asking me at every single appointment, is the market collapse going to happen? Is prices going to drop into the toilet? Is this going to be 2008 again? I'm getting that question in every single interaction that I get. So, instead of having the conversation 9,873 times, let's just have it once. And we invited Joel, or Joel invited us. Or...
it's an invitation. We're here. We are in my office having this conversation. So we both get asked the same question all the time: when's the crash happening? And in the real estate side, when you're taking a look at homes currently, you're seeing what?
Well, when I'm seeing it, okay, so there's a couple factors, right? And in 2008, same thing. So what are we seeing now versus in 2008? Well, inventory right now is super low. So we're not seeing any inventory really coming on the market. Things are still low. They've ticked up just a touch, but even new construction, Lennar and some of the other big builders here in the area, they're not opening up properties and new projects, pouring new foundations like they were. They're slowing things down. Their schedule's slowing down. They're slowing all of those things down because they don't want to get stuck with inventory. So they're making sure that everything's pre-sold ahead of time, but they're not opening up new projects. They're slowing down, pumping the brakes, which is good. It means inventory is going to stay low. And sellers, to be honest, they're hesitant as well on putting their property on the market, even though they might want to sell, because they're going to be looking at high interest rate loans when they go to purchase, and they probably refinanced back when rates were
3%, 2 3/4, in the low threes. Yeah, so everybody refinanced, so no one's making a move. Unfortunately, right now, we are paying a little bit of a premium because interest rates did jump very, very high, very, very fast, which is what's slowing down the inventory. So as the inventory stays kind of stagnant, we're starting to see a few price reductions so that the values are decreasing a little bit. So now is actually a really good time to buy, because you might be, in the first time in about 10 years, able to get a discount on a house.
Which is totally true. We've seen on all of our listings and all of our purchases about a 4 to 6% price reduction because of what's going on in the market with interest rates. And so that's about it. I'm seeing maybe as we roll into the wintertime where things slow down a little bit anyway, but inventory is always tightest in the wintertime too. So maybe we might see another 1 or 2% price reduction loss, but the reality is it's all supply and demand. Well, if supply is already limited, which we're calling inventory, if supply is already limited, then we have to start talking about demand. Well, demand is high. And it's like, oh yeah, who wants to come to Portland? There's a lot of craziness going on in Portland. Well, think about it. Portland is the largest major metropolitan port city on the West Coast, and it's the cheapest. If you're looking in Seattle, it's like $900,000 for what we would have as being an average or median price here is $575,000. So it's $900,000 in Seattle. Down in LA, we're about $900,000. If we're down in Silicon Valley, we're at like 1.2, 1.3 million. If we're in San Francisco proper, we're looking at like 1.6 million. And that's if we literally picked up the same house with a helicopter and moved it to each one of those locations. That's how much it would be worth. So, we've also got the millennial, wow, I talk for a living. We have the millennial demand happening because they're moving out of basements. And millennials, for those of you that are watching, that was a joke. But they're getting their new houses and they're getting out there. So there's a lot of more demand out on the market for homes, and that's why we're having this big push. So demand's high, supply's low. Do I think the big collapse is coming? No. Do I think the prices have settled about as far as they're going to? Yes. And back to Joel's point.
So when you look at interest rates now, when we look at the time period back to 2000 to 2010, interest rates ranged in the early 2000s at about 8%. By 2010, they'd reached about 5%. So when we're talking about a 3% difference in interest rate over that time period, it's not very large. What we've seen is we've gone from 3% to 7.5% in a couple of months.
Yeah.
So that's been very rapid. So what we're looking at is if you're qualifying now to get into your house at a 7% interest rate, you're going to qualify for that house when it's 5% again. So as rates begin to start to come down, it's going to be a better position for you to be financially. Getting a discount now on your purchase, saving on your interest rate down the road, or looking at a couple of creative ways that we have to help get your payment down now and still qualify at the higher rate. So call me for those. That's a whole different scenario. But anyways, this is Joel Martin with Canopy Home Mortgage and
Brad Eaton with Eaton Realty Group. And so, in short, now is a great buying opportunity because you're going to get a discount. Yeah, you're going to pay it in an interest rate, but according to Mr. Joel, in a couple of years, we'll hopefully be looking at a nice interest rate reduction in a fairly rapid pace, because that's what happens when interest rates go up. Market slows down, interest rates drop.
Yep. So that's where we're headed.
Go make a good choice. If you have questions, reach out to us. We'll talk soon.
Thank you. Bye now.